Welcome back. We've got 3 bonding points, so that's 3 bonding scenes we need to get through, and some side quests to do before we do the rounds and head off to the old schoolhouse. Let's start here with Fee, who seems to be, taking a nap. Zeds. Looks like she's sleeping. Well, I'd rather her sleep here than outside. Should I watch over her for a while? Kinda creepy, but that's what the bonding scene is. I'll go get a chair. Or rather, I'll ask the instructor Beatrix if I can. She's been going through so much lately. Can't blame her for being exhausted. She seems like she's sound asleep. Instructor Beatrix. Thanks for always taking care of Fee. Oh, please. It's, my pleasure. Besides, how could I decline a request from Instructor Sarah herself? Instructor Sarah asked you to do this. Yes, indeed. She told me a bit about Fee's past, too. Not everything, of course, but just what's pertinent. Her past as a Jaeger, for instance. It's a good thing, too, since it seems like that's the roots of some of her recent travels. I see. Instructor Beatrix, can I ask you to keep taking care of Fee from here on out? Of course. She's such a pleasant girl. But I can't provide much more than a bed to sleep on. After all, it's a student's job to sort their own problems out. It's part of growing up, really. Suppose you're right. It's not just up to her, is it? Every member of Class 7 needs to work as one. So we need to make sure that she has our support. We're all in this together. Glad to see you're so perceptive. Don't worry about me so much. Well now, good morning, Fee. Did we wake you up? No, I'm still asleep. Yeah. What do you think would happen when you started droning on right next to me? Sorry. Don't be. Thanks. Fee, I'm going back to bed. Wake me if you need me. That didn't take long. She was raised on the battlefield, but she's able to sleep peacefully when other people are around. I'd say that's quite the achievement, wouldn't you? Definitely. I'll do whatever I can to make sure that she can always feel at ease. Aw, triple dotting in her sleep. Okay, so who do we want to do next? It's gonna have to be Jusis, isn't it? And Emma, obviously, but it's just like which order we want to do them in. Look at him over there, having a cup of tea. Lovely. The tea here is of considerable quality. You're looking pretty comfortable. Have you been coming here often lately? You might say that. I've been caught up in some bothersome circumstances, as it were. Oh? Well, Pete, don't mind. It's nothing but a trifle, really. You don't seem to have a trifle in front of you, but if that's what you're eating, that's fine. I wonder what's going on. Maybe I should ask him. You know you can always come to me if you've got something weighing on your mind, Jusis. I'm willing to listen, or help out, or whatever you need. I really meant it when I said it was just a trifle. That said, having you around may make things easier when they arrive. Jusis casually invited Rean to join him for a cup of tea, and together they sat down to relax. Nothing's more relaxing than a good cup of tea. Screenshot. Kinda surprised you treated me, though. Think nothing of it. Consider it an advance payment of sorts. See, that sounds ominous when I don't know what you're paying me for. And here they come now. Yep. Good day. It appears our paths have crossed once again. Is this one of your friends from Class 7? I am. the upper class second years, from what I can tell. If you have business with me, I'd appreciate you making it brief. Well, how shall I put this? We just wanted to ask you once again if you'd be interested in accompanying us to the salon. Oh, now I get it. As I've told you before, I'm afraid I have little interest in spending the day being pampered. And as you can see, I have a prior arrangement with a friend of mine. I see. Well, we're terribly sorry to interrupt. But should you have a change of heart, I would love to see you there. You could even bring your friend along if you'd like. The upper class second years slouched off towards the salon with a look of disappointment on their faces. So, I see people have started inviting you up to the salon again. Indeed. While I was able to dissuade them for a while, it seems as though they've all steeled themselves for another salvo. I've found that the haughtier the noble is, the easier and more satisfying it is to reject an invitation. Finding the words to decline more subdued ones, like the ones we just spoke to, is much more difficult. So you used me as an excuse to keep them away. Clever. I don't think those two had any ulterior motives, though. They just looked like they wanted to talk to you. If that were the case, then there would be no reason to invite me to the salon now, would there? Inviting you someplace exclusive is probably tied to their noble pride. People have probably started inviting you again because you're not as hard to approach as you used to be. So this all comes back to you then? Yeah, I don't know about that. But more importantly, why don't you take them up on their offer sometime? The salon might be full of snooty people, but I'm sure there'll be more students like them who simply want to talk to you. Perhaps I will, if the motivation strikes. But you'll be accompanying me if I do. Sure. Do. Alright, so Emma. I was gonna say where is Emma, but it's clear where Emma's gonna be. In a certain room up here. Yes, here we go. Tripled her face. Emma, if you were staring at those pages any harder, you'd burn a hole through them. Rean, how do I explain this? Starfy asked me to proofread this manuscript of hers, you see. Sounds like a rough job. Can't help but notice you're looking a little red, though. Are you feeling alright? I'm feeling perfectly fine. And this manuscript definitely isn't full of salacious imagery either. Say what now? Anyway, I'm doing fine, so there's no need to worry. Sounds like she could use a little help with proofreading. Alright, we'll go right in. How about I give you a hand with that proofreading? What? You want to help out? With this? Is there some reason I shouldn't? Of course not. Well, if you really insist, then feel free. Here we go. A gape. Emma? Yes? This wasn't written by mistake, was it? It's definitely a romance novel, but all the characters are guys. That does seem to be the case, yes. So how did you like it? Oh, please say that you loved it. It'd make my world feel so much wider. How do I put this? I feel like I've been introduced to an entirely new world. One that I might not have wanted to know existed. And just the idea that he's just like, I had no part in writing it. I had no idea Dorothy wrote these sorts of stories until recently. This is the genre of young womanhood. Come on, you two. There's a lot more for you to proofread. Oh dear. She finally let us get some rest. These aren't the easiest novels for a guy to get through. I was afraid of that. But the genre seems to be getting more and more popular within Erebonia lately. Well, to teach his or her own, I guess. And while I'm always glad to have my horizons broadened, definitely could have done without some of the more graphic details. Agreed. I'm feeling a little flustered myself at that. Got so embarrassed that I fogged up my glasses. Emma removed her glasses and placed them on the table. Emma? Yes, is something wrong? Oh no, it's just that... It's the first time I've seen you without your glasses on. What? Phew. Sorry, I didn't mean to stare. It's just, I mean, it changes up your look. I'm sure not complaining. How embarrassing. Perhaps we should get back to proofreading now? Oh yeah, right. A lot of dots that are clearly bold. There's no need to force yourself with the worst of these. If they get too graphic, I'll take care of that, Oh dear. And thus they returned to the club room to wade through erotic tales of passionate young manhood. Once again. As Rean and Emma neared the brink of exhaustion, the proofreading finally came to an end. Oh dear. What are you subjecting them to, Dorothy? Oh dear, oh dear. Right, so that's the bonding done. So now it's time to actually see about getting the quests done. So chapter 4. Let's start with... I'm more inclined to go with the one from Bridget here. I've known this boy since we were kids, but I have no idea what's on his mind lately. To be honest, I'm a bit worried. Would someone be able to give me some advice on how to handle this? I'll be in the upper class dormitory if you can help. Bridget, year 1, class 2. You're Bridget from class 2, right? If so, I'm here to help with the request that you sent into the student council. That's me, alright. And you're Rean from class 7. Now that we've established that we know each other, let's get down to business to get started right now. Accept your request. I sure can, ask away. Phew, thank you. So you wrote that you having some issues with your childhood friend. That's right, Alan from class 4, to be specific. We're from the same town and we used to go to Sunday school together. Ended up having to leave that school though. I never saw him after that. That's why I was so happy to run into him again here, but... I see where this is going. You're an upper class student though, aren't you? I'm surprised you were childhood friends with someone who, well, isn't. What? Is it that weird? Well, I wouldn't say it's weird, but it's pretty rare, isn't it? Well, it's true that nobles and commoners don't have many opportunities to interact with one another in Erebonia. I'm just the daughter of a baron, though, so our family isn't all that influential. My father was never one to put much importance on social standing either. He even let me attend Sunday school on my own since it was close enough to home. That would explain it. Guess her dad's kind of like mine. So what exactly would you like me to do? You said you weren't sure what he was thinking. Well, I'm not sure why, but Alan's been doing everything he can to avoid me ever since we met up again here. He just gives me the cold shoulder whenever I try and speak to him, too. That's not good. Any idea why I might be acting like this? Not at all, which is why I'm so worried. I haven't done anything that could have offended him the few times we've talked. And it's not like we'd have some grudge from when we were younger either. We got along so well back then, but we used to play together all the time. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going on between these two. It would be one thing if he was just avoiding me, but he started treating me like some sort of nuisance. As far as I can tell, something seems to have happened to him at the fencing club. Those could definitely be related. Either way, seems like the quickest solution is to ask Alan himself. Slow down for a sec. Don't worry, I'm not just going to walk right up to him and ask him directly. but he might be more willing to open up to another guy about it. I'll go talk to him and try and figure out what's going on through his head. Well, then, thank you. Okay, I'd better go find him. Actually, before I do you know if he'll be at the fencing club today? Most likely, yes. You'll probably find him in the training hall. Got it. Before you go, Rean, please, promise me you'll tell me everything you managed to get out of him. If I'm to blame here, I'd rather know. Please don't hide that from me. I won't, I promise. Excuse me, I'm looking for a guy named Alan. He's supposed to be a member of this club, but is he off today or something? Not with my permission, at least. He didn't even mention he'd be out today. Oh. In other words, he's skipping practice. Got a feeling I know where he is, though. I see. Where exactly are you thinking? I'd check the field if I were you. Unlike Patrick, Alan actually cares about this club. Chances are he's skipping practice so he can train on his own. Well then, now that he mentions it, Patrick isn't here either. That's not really an excuse. I find it hard to blame him after what happened. Come to think of it, what did happen here last month? I'd only heard rumors. I'd rather not dig this stuff up, but both of them are skipping today, so what the hell? Truth is, Alan and Patrick faced off last month. Patrick, being the slimy little scumbag he is, made a show out of holding back and still beat Alan down. It was humiliating. Crushed all of Alan's confidence right out of him. I don't doubt it. That's why I'm letting him off easy for now. I'd like to see him bounce back from this, though. Tell you what, if you've got some business with Alan, do us a favor and tell him to drop by. You don't have to if you don't want to, but we'd appreciate it. Of course, I'll be sure to tell him if I have the chance. You're that guy from Class 7, right? Do you have some business with me or something? No, nothing like that. I saw you training out here and was pretty impressed, that's all. That said, you seem a little hesitant and it's getting in the way of your form. What makes you think you can just show up and criticize me? Is it just because you're a noble? Yeah, that's right, I've heard about you. Should a high and mighty noble like you even talk to a lowly commoner like me? Or would you get a pass when it's condescension? That stuff has never really bothered me. Seems like this guy has a noble-shaped chip on his shoulder. Putting our baggage aside for now, you came here to train, didn't you? How about you join me for a while? Me? Train with you? Yeah, it's a chance to practice in a way you wouldn't normally. I'm sure you'd find it beneficial. What do you say? Well, I don't know what you're planning, but if it'll make me stronger, then I'm on board. Won't say no to some big fancy noble who took the time out of his busy day to ask me anyway. Okay, I'll go get everything ready. Wonder if Instructor Sarah will let me borrow one of the combat shells. Rean called Instructor Sarah, and she gave him permission to use a combat shell. You guys use this thing in Class 7, right? Are we seriously going to fight it? It looks a little intimidating, but it makes for great training, I promise. I'll take point for now, so feel free to attack as often as you like. Right.
Bring it on!
Meet the following conditions. Alan deals the finishing blow. Okay, so we just gotta let that happen. Alan is conscious at the battle's end.
Go!
Okay, so I want to avoid using our S-craft then. Still want to go with a delay though. What have you got in terms of... We've got the piercing strike. Let's get the speed down if we can.
My turn! Arcus,
What's on you?
Activate. Ha!
Arts have you got? Do you not have... Oh yeah, you wouldn't have an Arcus, would you?
My turn. All right, let's do this.
The delay is a better idea.
My turn.
It's like, damn you. Let's go get some healing going.
Huh. Here we go. All right, let's do this.
We haven't got an impede, which is annoying. If we can delay you. If.
Go.
We could. So that's Autumn Leaf Cutter. Just keep going on the delays at this point, see if it works.
Here we go.
Like, it might do. We might run out of CP, that's the only issue.
My turn. Here we go.
This is a chance to heal.
Ha. Go. Go. Here we go.
Issue is now is that I want to use like that, but I don't want to. I want Alan to have the final hit. I should have just moved, maybe. Should be right though. Yeah.
Here we go. All right, let's do this.
Right, it's all about Alan at this point.
Here we go. All right, let's do this. My turn. All right, let's do this.
Getting your CP up. Oh, come on, Alan.
Here we go.
Just not doing well at all, are you, Alan? Just not at all.
Arcus, activate. Huh.
There we go. Did we win? You bet we did. Not surprising after that last attack of yours. That was a sight to behold. Thanks. Feel like I've got my confidence back now. At least a little bit of it. Good to hear. Triple dot. What's the matter? Oh, you're kind of bad about the whole flack I gave you earlier, that's all. I mean, you know, all the high and mighty noble stuff? Don't worry about it. But is there some reason you got so caught up in that? Triple dot. It's embarrassing to say out loud, but, envy, I guess. I used to be awful at almost everything I did. Sports, studying, anything you can think of. Still am, really. But I knew this noble who was basically my opposite. She could try anything and do it flawlessly. I was always so frustrated by that. What I wanted to do was be her equal. No matter what I did, I couldn't manage it. It's a pretty lame reason, right? No, not at all. But that noble you're talking about, it's Bridget, isn't it? Double red exclamation there, jeez. How did you know? Sorry, Guess it's time to come clean. Rean told Alan about Bridget's request. So that's how she felt. Now that I think about it, I really have been acting like a jerk. In your defense, I can sort of understand why you acted that way. Nobody wants to show their weaknesses to someone they look up to. It's not even that I look up to her so much as I want her to just look at me. Huh? What do you mean by... nothing, forget I said anything. So that's why. Anyway, if that's what she sent you here for, I'll go talk to her. Besides, I owe her a personal apology for being so mean to her lately. She needs to know that my issue was with myself, not with her. In fact, I'll go do that right now. That's a relief. I hope the two of you can smooth things over. Me too. Thanks for all you've done for me today. Isn't that lovely? Right, so I think we'll actually end this part. We've still got a few more quests to do, because we've got one hidden quest, which is swimming lessons, and we've actually got one more quest to do involving photographs. But like, what have you been up to, Rex? God damn it. Oh dear, oh dear. But we'll find out about them in the next part. Ta-ta for now.